What's up, guys? Happy New Year! It's 2019. I'm psyched, I'm pumped, I'm excited for what this year has to offer. Now, because it's the new year, a lot of people tend to make resolutions. I personally don't, because I feel like I'm continually trying to be better in all areas of my life, but I do understand the need for resolutions. One of the most popular New Year's resolutions is to lose weight or get healthier or just have a healthier lifestyle. And I'm hoping that this video can help you in that decision and that journey. So this video is really talking about little swaps that you can do in your diet to help achieve a healthier you this year. As a clinical pharmacist, I counsel a lot of patients not only about their medications, but also about their diet, because I firmly believe that health should have a holistic approach to it. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips about how you can make little swaps here and there to have a healthier you in 2019. Now, the goal is not for you to take all of these tips and incorporate them at once if you haven't already, because it can be overwhelming, right? But I want you to just take one or two at a time, try to incorporate it, get used to it, and then you can pick up the rest later. So let's get started. So the first tip that I have is to eat more vegetables. Now I know that just sounds like appalling to a lot of people, but hear me out. Vegetables are great for you. They're full of nutrients, full of fiber, which keeps you fuller for longer and helps your gut and keeps your gut healthy. You can play around with different vegetables, try different ones, see how you like it, see if you like it, try cooking it different ways, because it may not be that you don't like the vegetable, it may just be how it's cooked. I like broccoli, which is something I have here. I also try to give my girls green beans. Sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't, but I keep giving it to them anyway. I love spinach, I love kale. One tip that I would offer is to make smoothies in the morning. That's how I try to get most of my vegetables for the day. I put kale, I put spinach and other types of fruits and other things in it. And it's like the first thing in the morning, I'm fueling my body and I'm giving it a lot of nutrition. The next tip is to eat complex carbohydrates and not simple carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates are things like white rice, white bread, regular pasta. Complex carbohydrates are things like sweet potatoes, whole grain pasta, brown rice, whole wheat bread. The reason complex carbohydrates are better for you is the way your body responds to it. So when you eat simple carbohydrates, so things without fiber or whole grain in it, your body basically produces insulin to try to convert all the sugar that releases into your body after eating simple carbohydrates, because your body breaks down carbohydrates to sugar. So your body releases insulin to try to take all that sugar into your cells so you can use it for energy or store any excess as fat. However, because you don't have fiber in it, you have a sharp increase in blood sugar and a sharp decrease in blood sugar, and that can really mess up your energy levels and just make you feel really groggy and tired, and you're just dragging throughout the day. But if you have complex carbohydrates, which has a lot of fiber, what happens is that the fiber acts as a buffer. So instead of the sharp increase and decrease, what you have is a steady increase, so steady energy levels throughout the day, you feel great, and a steady decrease as well. So you don't feel so tired, you don't feel so groggy, and you know that mental fog that happens when you've eaten a plate full of carbs, that doesn't really happen when you have complex carbohydrates. My personal favorites are sweet potatoes. You can have whole grain pasta, as I mentioned, brown rice. I love quinoa. There's several different types out there, so just try it and see what you like. So the next tip is, instead of using vegetable oil or peanut oil to saute or fry your food, why don't you try using olive oil or coconut oil instead? These are both healthy fats. They make you feel fuller for longer. You still want to use them sparingly though. So this is not like, don't go overboard with these, but they're better for you. They contain healthier fats, so they're better for your heart health, as opposed to peanut oil or vegetable oil, which can clog your arteries and lead to other problems with your heart. So yeah, you can try these instead. So instead of getting sweets or desserts like ice cream or candy or chocolate, why don't you get fruit instead? I think that fruit is nature's candies. My personal favorites are berries. There's several types of berries. As you can see, they're so colorful. They're full of antioxidants, which are anti-inflammatory and also anti-cancer benefits. So I really love berries. And berries actually have the least amount of sugar when compared to other types of fruits. But you don't just have to have berries. You can have apples, which have a lot of fiber, which keeps you fuller for longer. You can have citrus fruits, which have a lot of vitamin C. And vitamin C is really great for your immune system. So there's so many different varieties. So next time, instead of taking a bite of that brownie or chocolate cake, you can have fruit instead. Now, I know there are a lot of you out there who love soda, but I want to recommend, instead of having soda, try flavored sparkling water instead. Now, hear me out. Soda is just bad for you. It's just drinking empty calories. It has no nutrition whatsoever. It's just basically taking sugar in, and that can be problematic if you are someone who struggles with controlling your blood sugar in general. If you have diabetes or if you're pre-diabetic, that can be really detrimental. And even if you didn't, just taking all that sugar can be pro-inflammatory. So it's just bad for you. All those extra calories, if you're trying to be healthier this year, really try to stay away from soda. So my personal favorite flavored sparkling water is by a brand called Croix. Now they have several different flavors. This one specifically is the melon pomelo. It's a cantaloupe pink grapefruit flavor. And as I said, this is just flavored, okay? So it's not sweetened. There's no artificial sweetener. There's no sugar, nothing. It's 0 calories. And it's just kind of like flavored with the essence of fruit, if that makes sense. And it doesn't have any sodium. So some other brands of sparkling water have some sodium in them, which can be problematic for those who have blood pressure issues. So I personally tend to love this because of that. There are other really good brands. So I think Perrier is another one that does not have sodium or sugar or any kind of artificial sweetener in it. So yeah, try this instead. And it also has fizz. So some people love the fizz that they get from having soda, and this has that too. So just go ahead and try it and see, and try different flavors and see what you like. I'm gonna actually go ahead and have some now. Did you hear that sound? So good. So one of my favorite alternatives to butter as a spread, not for baking, but as a spread on like toast or something, is avocado. Avocado is great for you. It has fiber, which keeps you fuller for longer, and it's great for your gut health. It also has healthy fats, which is amazing for your skin and your hair. And the type of fat that it has is not one that's detrimental to your heart. If anything, it actually helps with good heart health. So again, I like to use this on toast. I love avocado toast with just a little bit of salt sprinkled on it and some black pepper. So good. Again, this is only a tip as a spread. So for baking, this definitely wouldn't work. I also sometimes put avocado in my smoothies in the mornings as well. You know how some people have a sweet tooth, like myself? Others have a taste for savory and salty foods. So there are some people that just love potato chips. Potato chips are terrible for you. So it's a double whammy. They're made of just simple carbs, so it's just regular potatoes. So they will spike your blood sugar and cause a crash, so it really depletes your energy. It also has a lot of salt, which is bad, especially if you have blood pressure control issues. So I want to suggest that instead of having potato chips, why don't you try lightly salted mixed nuts? I personally love these. They are full of nutrients and healthy fat and protein, which is great for building your muscle. And then the healthy fats, obviously, again, keep you fuller for longer. It's great for your hair and your skin. And these are so delicious. There's several different types. I personally don't love hazelnuts, but I can eat just about any type of mixed nuts there is. But again, experiment, try it, see what you like. And it's about easing off of the potato chips, right? So I'm not gonna tell you to go get raw nuts right now, but that is the healthiest for you because it doesn't have any salt. So we're kind of easing away from potato chips, having this, and maybe in the future you can start having just plain raw nuts as opposed to salted, okay? So this tip is really for people who are addicted to coffee and want a healthier alternative. Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with coffee. A cup or two a day is okay. But a lot of people tend to go overboard with that stuff. And coffee is acidic, it stains your teeth, and it just, it gives you a boost of energy, but it's like the jittery kind of energy. Which is why I'm offering green tea specifically as an alternative. And I personally love matcha. Matcha is great because it has antioxidants. It's the crushed whole leaf, tea leaf, so it has more caffeine in it than bagged tea like this one. This is also green tea, but it's the bag type. But it also, and it has a lot of antioxidants, as I said, because it fights cancer. But it also has amounts of caffeine in it that rivals that of a cup of coffee. So they're actually pretty similar in terms of the caffeine content. But what I love about this is that the caffeine, the way it's delivered in your body is different from the way coffee delivers caffeine in your body. So this delivers caffeine in a steady way. So it's kind of like an awake, I don't know if you've ever had a really good night's rest and you're just awake and alert the next day. It's like steady. You know, it's not the jittery kind of energy that coffee normally would give you. This gives you more of a steady kind of alert kind of energy. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's why I really love matcha. Now, some people complain about the taste, but I personally don't think it tastes any different from regular bagged tea. So you could try this as an alternative, and there's some studies that show actually that it has some anti-cancer benefits. It may have some protective heart benefits as well. So, you know, you can't go wrong with drinking this. Just make sure you're getting ceremonial grade matcha. Anything other than that may not be great for you. So ceremonial grade matcha is usually best because it's the highest quality. Next is to find creative ways to add fiber in your diet. Fiber is great for you because it really helps with your gut health. It helps keep you regular, if you know what I mean. It flushes out toxins and things that should not be in your gut area, and it keeps you fuller for longer. It helps to regulate your blood sugar, as I explained earlier in the video. Fiber is great for you. Now, if you're someone who you're like, you know what, that whole tip about eating vegetables is not for me right now, well, this tip will really be helpful for you because you can add ground flaxseed to your diet, and you can be creative with however you want to add this. You can add this to smoothies in the mornings. You can add this, sprinkle over your salads. You can put some of this in yogurt if you want. The thing about ground flax seeds is that it has healthy fats. It's full of omega-3 fatty acids, which is great for heart health. And again, healthy fats, as always, is great for your hair and your skin. You know, it makes you look, you know, like you're popping. And it has fiber. So this is a really neat way to kind of sneak fiber into your diet without necessarily going overboard with vegetables if you're not quite there yet. My first tip, of course, is to have more vegetables, but in case you can't, this is a good alternative or addition. Not necessarily an alternative, it could be an addition too. My final tip is to drink more water. Now, just because this is the final tip doesn't mean it's the least important. This is very important. Water is great for your overall health. Our body is made up of, I think, about 70% water. I'll fact check that. But yeah, water is really great for you. It helps with temperature regulation. It really helps with your metabolism. If you're someone who is struggling and you're trying to shed some pounds and you've been struggling with that, I would say that you really should try to drink as much water as you can. Now, there are different theories about how much water you should drink. Some people say you should drink half your body weight in ounces. I would say just drink as much as you can throughout the day. I try to aim for at least 2 liters a day. Sometimes I do more, but that's my general aim. Usually if you're thirsty before you drink, it means that you're not hydrating yourself enough. So that's kind of I kind of eyeball it and try to use a general guide. But if you're someone who struggles with that, I will say have a bottle of water everywhere with you, wherever you go. And that makes it easier for you to just take a swig. Water is great, as I said. It's great for your skin, your hair. It keeps you hydrated. It's just all over amazing. Now, this is the first thing I drink in the morning. Whenever I wake up, the first thing I have is water because it helps my, get my digestive system going, and it's just amazing for you. So I would encourage you to drink more water as opposed to juice or soda. As I mentioned, this is generally better for you. All right, guys, so that's it. These are 10 simple swaps that you can make. I hope you don't find them overwhelming. I actually don't necessarily want you, if you're new to trying to get a healthy lifestyle, the idea is not for you to do all of these things at once because it can be overwhelming. The idea is to take one or two things, start there, and then you can build on as you go. If you have any questions about any of these tips, please feel free to leave a comment below or just ask your questions. If you want to share more tips so that everybody else can learn from it, please go right ahead. I'd like us to kind of start a conversation about how to continue to be healthy in this year and beyond. With that being said, I want to thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. Please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications for when I post new videos. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at SimplyFunmi. I also have a blog. The link is below. Go ahead and check it out and sign up on my newsletter. See you next time.